How was that? He kind of stood firm in the face of kind of relentless pressure at points.
It certainly was. Again, the game played it probably the way we expected it to. You know, everything that was going into the game with Livingston having to win, we knew that they would try and start quickly. Because we would try to take some of that energy away from them, and when we got the opportunities, you know, just have the quality in the final third to trouble them. And it kind of panned out that way. You know, the one bit of, well, saying that Brian had a chance at the start, maybe should have done better, but the other one bit of quality we had was when we worked into the wide area. It's a good ball across, an unfortunate own goal from the Livingston point of view. But after that we had to defend. We said that, similar to last week, to the boys, that you're going to have to defend your box, and I thought they did that brilliantly.
Are you ready for what lies ahead now? It's a really intense potentially really intense couple of weeks.
Certainly is. I mean, this group, or a lot of this group, have been through it over a number of years, so they certainly know what's coming. The game's coming in, you know, pretty quickly, and as you've seen tonight, you know, the cost of the Falkirk win on tonight has been quite significant, and some of our players having to come off. So we'll have to rest up tonight, and tomorrow we'll be in on Sunday, and we'll assess the squad from there.
What can this performance do for you again? The players, Mark, is the guys really stood up tall, especially in the end.
Well, to be honest, the performances since we've come in, I mean, I can only congratulate the boys on it. I mean, I know we had a couple of dips in between there, but the game we lost at Airdrie, I mean, it was the last kick of the ball, we could have easily have won that. The Hamilton games, the anomaly in that, where we were just poor that day, but every other performance has shown something different. I thought last week against Falkirk they showed for the first 30 minutes that, you know, they followed the game plan, they got the rewards. Then it was a different kind of mentality about hanging in with 10 men, a real togetherness. And again tonight it was a totally different game plan, because we're coming up against opposition who had their own agenda. So everything that we've asked of the players, they've carried out on the pitch almost to a T, and tonight was no different, and it just shows that real mentality, that real strength in the group. You've seen boys out there, you know, willing to put themselves on the line. I mean, Fitzpatrick is injured from early on in the game, but he's still willing to go time and time again for the team. Eventually he has to come off, but the 18 that we've got in the squad, and the subs are involved in that because they play a vital part in the preparation of the week. Even those that don't go on, they all play a big part in where we've got to. So incredibly pleased for them. They're a tight unit, they're close, and that's what we're going to need to be when we go into these next 2 games.
I don't think anyone's ever done it from 4th place to the Premier playoffs. You think you've got it in you to be the first?
Hope so. Somebody's got to do it, haven't they? I mean, we can't almost go year after year and the 4th place team just get put out. So here's hoping. Again, what we've got on our side is experienced guys who've been there the course and distance. If not here, they've been elsewhere in their career. So I think you can see within that scenario tonight that they've got the game awareness, the game knowledge to manage different scenarios and games, and I think the playoffs like that because they're so topsy-turvy as well. Anything can happen any given time. So look, we're going in a good place. We have a form team. We beat Falkirk, we beat Livingston, and I don't want to underestimate. I said after the Dunfermline game, I thought that was a huge point for us. Going away, with Neil Lennon's side still scrapped for safety, and I don't think our supporters were too pleased with that performance because it was 0-0. But I knew in the dressing room how big that was going to be, and so did the boys. So the last 3 games we've been spot on. We're going to need that form to introduce to.
How much were you aware of events at Hampden as well, were they? Because they were sitting banging in the goals and.
I didn't know until the 4th official, I think, was going for his board, and Kenny Arthur, the goalie coach, told me he said just for communication, Raith are 4-1 up at that time, or was it 4-1? He told me, and I went right, okay. And 10 seconds later he says they're 5-1. I said, what's going on there? And he says, just so we know, he puts up 7 minutes, 4th official puts up 7 minutes, and you're thinking, geez, is this written that it's going Raith's way? But even within that, I still felt, not that the balls came into our box, but I still felt comfortable. You know, I wasn't really that nervy, if I'm honest. So they've done great, but what a topsy-turvy because I hear Hamilton went ahead at Falkirk, so it's certainly been an interesting night in the Championship. What a way to finish.
Mark, you'd have been a colleague of Scott Brown's at points in your career. What do you expect from his side on Tuesday night?
Well, they've consistently been the 3rd best team. You know, there's no getting away from that. They were right in the mix to actually win the league, but obviously came off of that. Like, they're a reflection of Scott. I always thought that throughout the season, even before I came into this job and I was in the under 18 role and in the media, I quite often said that they were a reflection of Scott. So again, full of energy, full of fight, desire, but they've got quality in there. Again, players who are experienced. That's why it's going to be a tough game. You look at your previous fixtures against them as well, and how the results have balanced out. They've went each way, so it's going to be 2 tough games. And it's going to be fascinating to watch. And we just hope we've got enough. I believe we've got enough, but the recovery period, not only for us but for Ayr United as well, is going to be crucial over the next couple of days.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
No,
Investors.